It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
A little loose with it. Has to stop. Hands it off up top to Kohler. Darren with it right side. Step back three to the wing. Good. Oh my goodness gracious. Trying to play a handoff game with Darren. Prosper is a 3-year NBA pro all over him. Darren pump fake. Stops it. Pass deflected. Gets it back. Pump fakes Prosper. Steps back into a three. Hit it. Controls it. Now walks into a three and hits. Darren Peterson pulls from three. Jazz by 13. And 22 jerseys are flying off the shelves.
Highlights from Darren Peterson's 2 games in the Salt Lake Summer League. Now it's off to Vegas. Things start in Las Vegas tonight with the Utah Jazz and the Washington Wizards. So the number 1 pick, A.J. Debonta, the number 2 pick, Darren Peterson. There'll be games all day long down there, but this one's been reserved for 7 o'clock tonight on ESPN, so the 2 top draft picks can go head-to-head, PK. No reason to expect anything other than what we saw in those 2 games. He didn't play in the 3rd game, neither did Ace Bailey or Cody Williams. They sat those 3 guys for the 3rd game. Any reason you think you see anything different?
Those are the ones I bought tickets to, rats.
No, you didn't. You were actually the star in Frisco for the Big 12 Media Days.
I thought I was the star.
If PK's not going to be there, we're not playing the Big 3 in the Summer League.
Yeah, I've gotten some conversation that there's some people in the Jazz organization want to say, whoa, this guy, let's just hold off with the Kobe Bryant stuff, man.
Well, you better tell him. He's the one talking about it all the time.
Yeah, but they're not going to tell him not to.
I know. But
so then why would you say better tell him if you know? It didn't make any sense. You just contradicted yourself. I'm back for 5 minutes, and you just contradicted yourself. I can't take it.
Because there is a contradiction here that just isn't going to be addressed. I don't think they're going to tell him to stop talking about it.
Nobody said.
He's going to keep talking about it. So telling everyone else to do it is worthless because they're going to hear Darren saying it.
Oh, I don't think it is. I think that as long as Will Hardy and Austin Ainge, they're the ones. They have to
Well, they're not going to say that. I mean, Will Hardy's not going to get out there and compare him to Kobe.
Okay.
Night one.
There may be
somebody. Nor do I think Will needs to be
somebody at the top that you don't tell people above you what to do, if you get my drift. Maybe that person, slow it down a little bit. That's what I'm saying. Believe what you want. Don't believe it. Don't matter to me.
I believe there are people who would like that to slow down because that sets up just a crushing, enormous amount of expectations.
Okay. Why is it crushing?
Because you put pressure on yourself to do stuff, and you drive yourself crazy.
Pressure is all self-induced. It's the pressure is not a real, tangible thing. It's what you decide it is.
Yep.
And so,
but I think the people who are saying, "Hey, let's pump the brakes on that," are worried that the pressure overwhelming.
Then what do you have? If pressure is going to overwhelm you, you're going to get in the free throw line with the game on the line in the NBA Finals and clank too.
Yep. Might shoot air balls in the playoffs.
But but you're 17 years old. Nobody cares. No.
Well, I think people care.
I don't think they care.
But it's not.
Looking back,
it doesn't
they
have
didn't
to
care
be,
a lick.
It doesn't have to be defining. There's so many more games to go.
Unless you murder someone at 17.
There's going to be defining.
Yeah. So, or 18, whatever he might be. It's not a big deal. In fact, I would encourage air balls because that meant that
you're trying to seize the moment.
Yeah. And that was just a precursor of what was going to come.
Splash.
That the idea that the moment wasn't too big is more important than the actual moment being too big. And so, yeah, if they get into a playoff and he's got the ball and he shoots it and misses, great. Because all the stars, no matter who they are, miss way more game winners than they actually make.
7 o'clock tonight. Debonta and DP. Enjoy the game. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
Say more so, I'm interested to just play golf with LeBron. We'll handle the basketball stuff, but I want to see the golf LeBron free agent. he's out here really grinding on the game. But I'm sure, we obviously would love to play together. Hopefully it happens, but he's deserved the opportunity and the right to take his time with the decision.
I honestly believe this is your best chance to win. You have to decide all the other things that are equally important because it's his life, right? He has to play. He has to face the scrutiny of his decision. Half the people will say you should have done this or should have done that, and they'll criticize him for whatever, which is his life. So he's been through all that. What I would just say is, if it's about winning, and that, let's talk about this team because you can win here in Philadelphia.
That's 76ers president Bob Myers making his case for LeBron James joining the Sixers. Before that, you heard Steph Curry about wanting to play with LeBron. Most of the teams being talked about now are in the Eastern Conference, PK. Back to the East. Maybe Cleveland, maybe Miami, maybe Philadelphia. The Warriors have been out there.
Maybe I don't give a crap.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
Sign it wherever you
Sign wherever you want.
I'm bored by it. I mean, the drama that he has to have, that circles him. I'm a defender of him, but the constant, if it's one thing, it's not one thing, it's another. It just wears on you after a while, man. Life goes on. It's basketball. You're on a basketball team. Really. And fine, take your decision, make your time in the decision, but I am not going to be engaging in these daily updates. So that's for you, if you choose to do it.
Other news around the league, it's not so much people doing things, it's people reacting to what's already been done. Milwaukee Bucks general manager John Horst says trading Antetokounmpo was a very difficult decision. But he added in transition, it was in the best interest of both the Bucks and Antetokounmpo, which is why it happened. And people wondering if it should have happened a year or 2 or 3 earlier, but nonetheless, it's finally happened now.
I'm glad it's over.
Jason Tatum, it's tough to see Brown go. Proud of great years together. Couple trips to a final, lost 1-1-1. Plenty of conference finals on top of that. A new era now for the Celtics, and Tatum is the guy. And the jersey worn by Jalen Brunson in Game 1 of the NBA Finals sells for more than $1 million.
Yeah, I had to scrounge it up, but I thought it was worth it.
Just go with your Dave DeBusschere jersey and your Walt Frazier jersey.
Phil Jackson, Dean Meminger, Dick Barnett, Earl Monroe, John Gianelli.
John Gianelli.
Yeah.
There's a name I don't know. But you were
Big
there
man
and I
coming
wasn't.
off the bench.
Okay.
Willis Reed, on and on. The list goes on.
Mark Cuban reportedly taking the dispute with the Dallas Mavericks' new ownership over control of the team to court, citing the Luka Doncic trade. Is he really going to be able to get them back?
What's he want?
Well, he's accusing the owners of freezing him out.
Okay. So
he says Dumont is engaged in adversarial business practices.
What does he want?
Control of the team again.
And buy him back. Another drama queen there.
He still owns 27% of the Mavericks. Newspaper reported there's a clause that allows Adelson and Dumont to buy another 20% of Cuban's stake.
What's that reported? What was it?
Newspaper reports that the current owners, the Adelson and Dumont families, could buy 20 of his 27%.
I'm unfamiliar with the term newspaper.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Shared adversity brings you even closer. And, the last couple months we've gone through some adversity. I do believe if you walked into our building every single day and you walked into the weight room and the workouts or football school, you wouldn't know that anything was going on. And a big part of that has been Ben and Sheridan. We met multiple times. With them being our two captains, and really I talked through this with those guys and how they felt and what we wanted to do, and they've been incredible. I'm really fortunate. We've got a really strong leadership group. They kept us focused on football. At no point did I feel that anything's taken away from the football as far as in the building.
That's Joey McGuire, Texas Tech football coach. He did admit they misjudged the Sorbisby fallout, and maybe they would have taken a different path had they figured things out in advance differently. But it is what it is. The Big 12 commissioner didn't want to talk about Sorsby, wanted to talk about global reach and monster moments and sell all that. Meanwhile, the NCAA's opened an inquiry into Cincinnati. What do they know? What do the Bearcats know, and when did they know it about Brandon Sorsby's gambling?
What are they going to do to Cincinnati?
I don't know. Take away draft picks.
Who gives a crap
Fine
about
'em.
Cincinnati?
Fine them.
Yeah.
Lose 2 spring practice days. I don't know. What can they do?
Joey McGuire is very fortunate that he has Cody Campbell. And we talked with this with I did. We with Trammell came on yesterday down there. Yormark, this is not the time.
When is the time?
Yeah, I mean, if this is not the time, that implies that there is a time.
Maybe the Big 12 championship game. Maybe you'd like to bring it up then.
I thought he missed the boat on that.
He just wants it to be over.
But, you know, and they basically put out a unwritten thing. You don't talk about it. And last year, this is my 3rd Big 12 media days, right? And last year, the coaches were far more available than they were this year. And I had to leave to catch a plane to be here today. So Jake Scott handled it, and I haven't been able to – I didn't look to see. But we were flat out told, if you bring in Satterfield, the Cincinnati coach, no questions on Sorsby. So
as they get investigated.
And I get maybe Cincinnati, but to not address it, and now guys leaking stories, writing stories that they have to reconcile. The Big 12 has to just do nothing. Texas Tech has to reconcile with the Big 12, not the other way around. Screw you. You tried to do something stupid. Go ahead. Come down on them. What are they going to do? What options does Texas Tech have? They going to go independent? No.
Quit and go to the ACC.
You need help moving?
I think to your point, the Big 12 didn't do anything wrong. They were pushed in a corner. The public looked at them and like, what are you going to do? And not just the public, but all their sponsors and all that. And they did the thing that people wanted them to do, that they were expected to do, that they needed to do. So you can go down there and help Texas Tech with their feelings, I guess. But beyond that, there's nothing to apologize for.
We did what we did. You don't like it? Tough.
I felt like that was like corporate talk. To reconcile, but in the room, I can't imagine. In the room,
he went down there and then they had lunch and.
But
I don't know why Yormark just didn't address it. Why put it to bed? All you did was continue the story. You didn't end the story.
They did not end the story.
And so every time now when you go to speak, people, I'm not in. Now's not the time. And it was funny because what you had was the Texas Tech media acting like the Big 12 and what they did was just outrageous and they were offended. And you had the one guy stand up. Now we're on the one end zone and all that stuff at this podium, which is actually a huge stage, is the entire end of the
100 yards away.
Yeah, so because they don't want it's
the audio. Yeah, the audio leaking into your stuff or your audio leaking into their stuff. Either way.
If you have headphones on, you can't hear it. But the second you take it off, you can faintly hear it in the distance. It's literally 100 yards away. And the one guy stood up. You're supposed to stand up. He had a question, and he didn't stand up. And then Yormark walks over and tells him to stand up, and then blows him off. And that reading stuff or talking to people from Big 12 representatives, that the Texas Tech media contingent was acting like the Big 12 was all wrong. Well, of course, they want to win. Everybody's a homer. You call anybody a homer, and then they all get bent out of shape. You're attacking my integrity. I'm a homer. Everybody's a homer. I mean, but nobody wants to ever admit they're a homer. But they're all homers.
Barry Trammell had some rock-solid PR advice for the Big 12, but they didn't want to take it.
Yeah, at that point it was too late. But yeah you should have jumped on it right from the start.
Texas Tech, meanwhile, has announced that Will Hammond is slated to be the Week 1 starter if he's physically cleared. There have been rumors that he's ahead of schedule and that he will be cleared, but that's all TBD here on July 9th. Long way to go on that. And I heard you and Barry talking about that, and Trammell's theory, deductive reasoning. Well, would they have spent their $5 or $6 million, whatever it was, on another quarterback if they thought Hammond was the guy.
But they thought I think they think he's fine, but they weren't sure about the injury. And every team has quarterback injuries. I don't.
So they thought they could bring
that's a knock towards Hammond. And $5 million for them is chump change.
And bring in and so you'd have two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You'd be ready at the start of the year, and then you might have an injury in the middle of the year. So what the heck?
Most teams do.
It's pretty common in college football these days. Anything else you want to tell us from the Star? I mean, we can get into it later in the show, but here for the headlines, people.
I want them to stay and listen. I've got a lot to say.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll get to that. Man. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Now the pitch, swing by Garcia, drive in the air to deep right center field. It's way back. It's going. It's gone. Goodbye. Luis Garcia Jr. has done it again. Bang, zoom. Goes Luis Garcia Jr. with his 20th home run of the year.
Here's the pitch, swung on and hit high in the air. Deep right field for Roden. That ball is off the wall, and the Twins will win it on an Allen Roden double to right. The Twins walk off the Guardians.
One, and he hits one out toward left center field. This one is belted, and the Joe Show Part 2.
Boy, Adele says hello and then some. That gives you 5 steaks. A couple home runs for Joe Adele.
Highlights from around Major League Baseball. The Twins with a thrilling walk-off win. Dylan Cease had a no-hitter going into the 9th inning. Gave up a hit and came out. And you were just talking the other day when there was a perfect game and they pulled the guy after 7 innings and then everything blew up for was that Tampa Bay, I guess. The quotes from Cease's manager, they were epic. John Schneider is the Toronto Blue Jays manager, and he says, I'm a fan of baseball. I think if a guy has a chance to throw a no-hitter, I think you let him do it. I think you make adjustments after that. If I can let a player have that opportunity, I'm going to do it every single time. Well, maybe not every single time, but as long as I'm allowed to. You can just feel the looming presence of the general manager and the analytics staff. That's enough. Pull him.
Well,
in this case, they didn't, but in most they did.
The medical staff, too.
Yeah, the medical staff, too. You're right. And they let him go over 100 pitches. He ended up throwing 118, and he was already in his head. So much for the not talk about a no-hitter. They had conversations between innings. I've got 120 pitches. Well, I got 130. He just kept bumping the number up, figuring out how many pitches it was going to take him to get to the
and he's
ninth.
a veteran, too. So
he's thrown a no-hitter before. He's come close to no-hitters and lost them before. Not his first. Actually, one of the guys, I forget who it was, but it was Luis Reyes, had broken up one of his no-hitters previously late in the game and was scheduled to bat in the 9th, and he said, I'm just happy it wasn't Luis that broke it up again. Yeah, he's been in that moment before. He's 30 years old.
Yeah, so he's not coming back from anything.
Right. And then the game wasn't, as soon as he gave up the no, they took him out because it was a 10-0 game. The Blue Jays blew out the Giants.
I think they should at that point. I mean, complete games get you nothing.
Nope. Stay for the no, but take off for everything else. Salt Lake Bees get beat in Sacramento. They'll be back at it tonight, 7:45. Tony Parks on the air here on the Zone. 6-1 the final last night. All right, DJ and PK.
Hashtag BYU.
There's pretty much the given goals. Everybody knows that everybody wants to be champions. You're non-competitive if you don't plan on trying to get that done. But our focus needs to be on how do we get that done. Just saying that you want to be a champion doesn't make it happen. And it's what are you willing to do in the off season when no one's watching. By the time you get to the season, much of the work has been done already.
That's Kalani Sitake on what it takes to be a champion. He said complacency is not in their vocabulary, and they felt disrespected after being left out of the college football playoff last year, and that is fuel for 2026. Take another swing at it, PK. 2 really good seasons, but neither one have not only has not gotten them in the playoff, but really not even as much discussion about them getting in the playoff as I think BYU would hope. Not the discussion gets you anywhere. You're either in or you're not.
Yeah, whatever you want to use for incentive. I can't really say motivation because the games themselves are the incentives and the motivation. win 1, win 2, win 3, so forth and so on. I mean, they're going to be obviously beat Utah Tech, and then they've got a big-time game in Game 2. So what happened in December of 25, I just don't think is going to be on their minds. It's going to be, we have to beat Arizona in order to get where we want to be in December of 26. And that's the most important thing. And some committee decided that you weren't in. Screw them. You didn't do enough according to some committee. Okay. All right. But what can you do about your team winning this game this day? That's the only thing that matters. And then at that point, you will add up all the evidence. And if they decide not to put you in, you said they had a great season. They had a great season. And they got beat by a team that their NIL budget on their defensive line was more than BYU's NIL budget entirely. And that's what multiple BYU people told me. So that's the issue here. Don't let anything. If you need something, form of motivation, well, you're just making it up. Because I don't think you do it. But everybody does it, and if that's what you think is going to drive you, in a sense, fine. And the goal is to win the Big 12. I don't know that the goal is to get in the playoff. Now, that will happen if you win the Big 12. If you win the Big
12, they're linked, yes.
That's the singular goal, is to win the Big 12. Because if they don't win the Big 12 and they get in the playoff, is that a successful season?
I believe it will be viewed as a successful season.
And if you lose 23-0, did Texas Tech have a successful season last year?
They did, but that's a sour note to go out on. But that's the essence of playoffs, is you keep winning, and then eventually you can have a sour note. And that can come in different flavors, right? It's disappointing to lose a close game right at the end, which is what happened with Arizona State a couple of years ago.
Sure.
And it's also disappointing to get dominated for 3 hours, which is what happened at Texas Tech against Oregon.
But winning the Big 12, I think that's the most important goal.
Big deal.
I think it is.
It's a big deal. It's a big moment. All the Utes who were on the field, the fans who were in the stands. Yeah. Remember those moments in Las Vegas, the 2 times the Utes pulled it off.
Right. And I was on the field both times.
Yep.
Although one time, the second time, we go to come out of the tunnel. Nope, media not on the field. So what are you talking about? No, I was told. Some 22-year-old kid. I hate kids in their 20s. No offense, Alex. Because I like you. There's some other people around here in their 20s I don't like anymore. And I told the guy, I said, no, I need to go on the field. This is work. Oh, no. You can't go on the field. I said, you know what I'm going to do? They have 4 tunnels, right? 2 each side. And I said, I'm going to go to that tunnel over there on the other side of the end zone, and I'm going to walk right through, and I'm going to go out on the field. And you can watch me. That's exactly what I did.
You're not the boss of all these tunnels.
But there was all a bunch of younger media that was with me, and they all stood there. They didn't get out on the field. I did.
You got 3 more chances.
Yeah, I would have said.
Keep walking around the stadium.
You see that one down there?
I'm going down there. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Utah.
You know, that's the one thing about this place that is special in an environment in this day and age of college football where everyone's telling these young men to get theirs, and teams will continue to win championships, not individuals. And so it's always going to be about the team at the University of Utah. Change is going to happen. That's just the environment we're in college football. But your culture has to be strong enough to withstand it.
That's Morgan Scalley talking about a new era of college football and how the Utes are going to try to negotiate it. Still all about the team. He also talked about wanting a physical offense, which suggests a lot of running. But he also talked about explosive plays, PK. And you were intrigued by that. That came off your question. We just actually replayed the interview in the last segment. You can go get it online, KSLSports.com, YouTube, wherever.
Well, yeah, I like what he's saying. And Harland acknowledged it, too. Mark has to be careful with what he's saying because everything is sensitive, and just about any time he makes a public appearance, if he has one little slip-up, it's the hugest thing, right? And all those guys. And so they have to be careful. And he was right in what he said. Mark said, that basically everybody understood that the offensive approach to Utah the last 2 decades was from a defensive perspective. He's right. You cannot argue that, right?
Do you know anyone who would?
Well, he has to frame it in a manner that it's not condescending, it's not offensive.
Yeah,
he's got to walk that line. I thought he did very well walking that line there, but he's right.
I've read plenty of stories that go far beyond Mark about college athletic directors and quite frankly, the coordinators feeling like when it's time to hire a new head coach, the field is tipped in favor of offensive minds. That the defensive coach in the interview process and with the resume has to throw the knockout punch. The offensive coaches have an advantage getting those jobs because the ADs all feel like you've got to be entertaining to fill seats. That people would far rather watch 31-28 than they want to see 14-10. So how do you get a high-flying offense and entertain people? And I've heard that about our local schools beyond Mark and the U. But Utah has promoted 2 defensive guys, and before that an O-line coach, and Urban's the outlier in the last 4 hires. And so, yeah, they haven't had the O-line coach, Ron McBride, wanted to run the ball. Kyle Whittingham wanted to protect the defense. You brought that up. You've brought that up multiple times. You heard that from multiple people over the years at the U. And the reason you heard it is because it's true. That's what Kyle believed. And when you ask him his favorite games, he's out there picking games that they didn't score 20 points in. Hey, how about that 3-0 game in Provo? That was a thing of beauty. Kick a field goal and win the game on a sheet of ice.
Yeah, I moderated a symposium with him,
right?
And asked him his favorite games.
It's all true.
And I'm running up SC against Utah.
Yes.
And I thought that
was
thrilling.
The K-State Utah game last year? The fans in the north end zone were going ballistic when they won that game at the end. And meanwhile, Morgan looked like death walking off the field. He walked right by us.
But I think you can be a defensive coach and still have an opened offense. I mean, Lavelle did it.
Yeah.
So
go out there and win 35-10 games, or
sure, everybody wants to win that,
or whatever.
But
yeah,
that's not.
You're going to have to squeak some out.
Yeah, and I appreciate what they're saying. Now it's all talk until we actually see it, and maybe we do see it. And you got a quarterback who's capable of doing it.
Devin Dampier, senior quarterback, although this new 5-for-5 eligibility rule, I mean, we may only be like 17 court cases away from knowing whether it's really going to happen or not, but he's a guy who could benefit from that. He hasn't burned a redshirt year. So we'll see where that goes.
Whatever.
DJ and PK. #NHL.
Barrett Hayton returns to the Utah Mammoth. He had an offer sheet from New Jersey, but the Mammoth match it. He'll be an unrestricted free agent next year. He is back with the Mammoth for one more year, and we'll see where it goes from there. That's what's trending. Brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. No job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Question of the day is next. More football on the way. Stay with us.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Nobody brings you better coverage of the teams you're passionate about than these guys.
Try some more.
This is DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK, it is time for the question of the day. Yahoo Sports is reporting Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark met with Texas Tech executives in Lubbock, and a tough reconciliation process remains ongoing. Why does the conference need to reconcile anything? It is a mystery to our listeners, PK. Ryan, seriously, where's Tech going to go? If anyone else wanted them, they'd already be gone. And besides, if they reconciled in the SEC or Big Ten came, they could love each other. It wouldn't matter. They'd still be gone. Matthew, it's because our society has become soft and offended by every little thing instead of just moving on and forgiving. Watch when PK gets reinstated by BYU. Someone will be offended. Haters got to hate. And then Mark says, well, as long as DJ gets reinstated at the same time, and laughing, crying emojis.
They're talking about Parker Kingston, I understand. And there has been some discussion. We'll have to see how that plays out. Maybe along the lines of a Retzlaff situation, decide what you're going to do there and so forth. Yeah, that'll take discussion at that point if and when it arrives. But yeah, I don't understand that it should be tough. Yeah, and like in my line of thinking, hey, Texas Tech, you don't like it. Well, I'm going to give you a two-word phrase, and the first word is tough.
Tough. Richard Dawson, the match.
Yeah. So tough.
I think I've got that word.
Tough is involved in my two-word response to them.
Okay, but you're also the one in other moments who says sometimes you got to let people save face. Like you've already won, you don't humiliate them. Oh, you've won. So now Yormark, who must be a tough guy anyway. He's a wrestler, and he's at 135 pounds.
He's from
and he weighs
Jersey.
himself every day. He's from Jersey.
Grew up
right.
about 10
it's a
minutes
tough
from where I am.
reconciliation process.
But no, it's not.
I'll fly down there. I'll have lunch with you. I'll make you feel better about yourself. But we won in court. If you push the envelope, we'll win in court again.
I mean, that's fine.
It's just the way it is.
But don't cave in. Don't acquiesce. We want you. We understand all the things that you did. You thought you were helping the young man. And you can help the young man all you want. Everybody agrees with that. Let's help this young man and everybody else who's in that situation. He still is a kid, essentially. And certainly when he was doing the gambling, he was a juvenile or certainly underage. So let's help and let's use it as an example to make it better and more education for young people because they face an amount of temptations that are so wild. I can tell you when I was underage, I would, my senior year, I would go, the racetrack, not coincidentally, was about 2 miles from my house or from my school. So I would begin at 12:30 and we didn't have baseball till like 3:30. Well, I'd go over to the track. And I was underage, but I had people, because I knew them, give them money, they go bet. You know, it seemed harmless at the time. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I could have spiraled into stuff.
Maybe you
No,
were
I
just
didn't.
fortunate you didn't spiral into something that dragged you down.
Right. Because I did it. I did it often. And then I would go with my parents on the weekends.
And you're not an unusual story, having family in Nevada and visiting them, and you'd hear the stories about, especially as I got older, you'd hear the stories about, don't be tempted to go down to the casino because if you win, they won't pay you. And those stories were just in the news periodically. Somebody, the college buddies would drive to Vegas or Reno or whatever, and then they'd win, and then some casino would find out they're 19 or 20, and they wouldn't pay them.
Yeah, but then you just get somebody else. In fact, if
you were already anticipating that, so you're working around it.
Tax laws, you get somebody who's retired, and they claim it.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, which I did.
Right. But that's Jersey, and you're savvy. And meanwhile, over here in Nevada, you got a bunch of California kids who, from whatever school, Sac State or whatever, driving to Reno or Long Beach
now
State,
you don't have
driving
to drive
Vegas.
anywhere.
No, you don't anymore.
So that's what I'm saying. The temptation is
right there.
greater than it's ever been, and we need an education process. So everyone is for that. Help the young man and have it be a situation
but
that
he
is
can't
across
help you
the
win
board.
football games.
Yeah, and but I don't think the Big
touchdown
12
passes.
doesn't need to take a conciliatory approach. It's like, hey, we want you guys. We're not we're not sanctioning you. This just couldn't been done. It would have been, and actually, it is in Texas Tech's best interest that Sorsby does not play. They just didn't know it. The desire to win, and I think it puts Cody Campbell in a bad light and all those people that they were just win at all costs. Now, you can spin it any which way you want, and that's great. Spin it as hard and as much as you want, but the rest of us are going to take it. You were going to let him play. You wanted him to play because it's win at all costs. And the 26th season is upon us, and you don't want to wait till 27. The time is now. You don't play BYU. You don't play Utah. Those are teams that are recognized as being threats to you, and you didn't even play them. And so you have a real nice schedule that should allow you to go through minimally one loss. I think you maybe pencil in a team for one loss just because things happen. But outside of that, no. And so you have that bad taste, and you want to prove you're big time. I mean, and who was it? Campbell was doing the media interview. Well, if this was LSU, and people are just jealous of us because, we're on the block now. Well, yeah, because you're going to spend whatever it takes. I mean, as soon as they lost in Miami, I think it was, he said, we're going to double down. What does that mean? That just means you're going to put them more. The only way you take that is not, we're going to lift harder, we're going to run more. No, we're going to spend more.
Money. It was NIL money. When he said double down, you're like, yes, the budget's going up another $20 million.
And I can't speak to whether he was there the last 2 days because I don't know, because there's hundreds of people out on the field, and I have to do a couple hours of radio before I'm bumped off, and I don't know if he was there, but I know he was there last year, and he was walking around making himself available. And so I get that, and he didn't show up this year. I don't know. I'm not sure if he did or didn't. But that's the issue at hand, is that we perceive, no matter what you say, we perceive you want to win at all costs. And so Yormark, he wants to play tough guy to an extent. But as I said with Mark Harlan and everybody and every AD, when you speak on the record, you have to be careful. And two, now, when you speak off the record, unless you implicitly trust that person, then you're okay. But even if it's in a group setting, you still have to be on guard because there's so many people. It was
the brush fire gets lit and it's out of control.
The radio row was, what's the width? 45 yards of a field?
53, I think.
Okay, but it even goes longer.
Oh, because it goes onto the sidelines?
Basically,
so
yes.
Then it's
and
probably...
it was 2 rows deep, and I thought, there's not that many. And it was, go Jayhawks.com, and they get a spot. They get as much of a spot as KSL Sports, which... I have 42 years in the business.
Yeah, well, that doesn't matter to everybody. Matters to some people, right? But it doesn't matter to everybody.
Truth be told, I got my first newspaper job in 1984, and there's no sense pretending that I'm a spring chicken, because I'm not. I still have all the passion, all the enthusiasm, and thank goodness my health to continue, and I will continue, but... You can trust me. If there's any coach, player, whomever who says this is off the record, I guarantee 100% it will be off the record. But they don't know that with all these newcomers who've come aboard.
They don't necessarily have the training. They don't know the difference. As recently as yesterday, there was a little bit of confusion about what's off the record and what is not for attribution, what is on background. Those are different things, and I heard those terms used interchangeably. I was like, no. That's not what that means.
Well, that's a lot of no's.
No. Sounds like me lining up a punt. No.
So you got to be careful what you say, but Yormark doesn't really owe anybody an apology. No. And they actually did what needed to be done in Texas Tech's best interest. That's what's crazy about
Texas
it.
Tech
they helped Texas Tech.
I thought that might be part of this. When I saw the ongoing, how was it phrased? It didn't even register. It's like that's just something he says. A Jersey wrestler, tough guy.
What are you looking for?
The quote. I was looking in the wrong place. Tough reconciliation process remains ongoing. It sounds like you're pushing a blocking sled across West Texas. No, you're not. You go down there. You say, hey, I'll have lunch with you because we got to work together in the future. And as you like to say, you got to let people save face. Hey, I know it sucked, but we were painted in a corner here. The whole country is waiting for this. It's too bad that other judge didn't save you from yourself. And you just got out over your skis a little bit, which I believe, when he goes down there and has lunch, who's he talking to? Because I think McGuire had one attitude. The AD was more McGuire, and then there's Cody, and the other two guys are thinking, well, we don't want to get too far away from Cody here because he's the boss and he can fire us, but we can see where this is going. We think. We were already crossed up by the judge once, so they're trying to be supportive of the school and the kid. But if you go back and read their comments, they were aware of This is alienating us from everybody else in the industry. This may not hold up. We better have a plan B and another path forward if a ruling goes against us down the line. I think they thought all those things. And they still stepped in a little bit. So go down there, have a lunch, address your feelings over the course of an hour, and then decide on what you're going to work on next. Because the league isn't going to waffle on this. If something happens, I totally agree. If something happens with another player at another school, everybody's on notice now about how this is going to go. And the league shouldn't flinch. The Big 12 will have to call that lawyer they called who wrote up that great brief and say, all right, here's some more money. Go to town again. We can't let this happen. People have to believe that when the game is on the line, everybody's all in trying to win the game. You've said a million times, that's what attracts you. That's why you're a man of the people. That's what attracts all the people. That's why the people in the North End Zone were losing their mind over the Utah K-State game, which at that point, it was clear the Utes weren't going to the Big 12 title game. It was just the game for the sake of the game because it's fun, and it was fun. It was wild. It was crazy. It was great. Devin Napier went running on that big run towards the North End Zone, and those people were out there going nuts. And if you think K-State's falling down because they got a bet on the game, that takes the fun out of it. So, no, the league's got it. They did the right thing. They stand their ground. They'll have to stand their ground if it happens again. You brought up Art Schleister because we're both old as dirt, and we both remember Art Schleister. And it didn't start with Art Schleister. Football's been doing this 20 years earlier. Paul Hornung and the Packers and Alex Karras ended up on Monday Night Football. I'd say that to the kid right now. It's like, that's not your best moment. But there's a path back if you get it. Here's a guy 60 years ago. He was a star defensive player. He had his problems. He got suspended for a year. He ended up calling Monday Night Football games, and America loved him. He was hilarious. He was a big goofball. He was fun.
But in my mind, there's no question that Texas Tech had to pay for the lunch.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. They got leftover NIL money.
That would be an insult.
Texas Tech can pay for the lunch.
Like I got my lunch paid for, my dinner paid for Monday night.
All right.
Old Yak, who was down there for his other thing, had a friend who picked us up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And takes us over by the Star. Now it's a big complex area when they get entertainment. They got a big open area, big screen. everybody was watching that dud of a. Well, your
watching the United States
national
get
team
smoked.
really gagged. I feel bad for you. That you guys suck. Got all excited for
Look
that.
at you rejecting the United States of America. Holy cow.
Their soccer team?
Yeah.
Hell yes. Absolutely.
You're with them, win or win.
It was
a terrible
emotional attachment. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, the expression is I support you, win or draw.
Yeah.
Not lose. Well, anyway, that there's this big area there, and hooked into the Star, which is actually a 12,000-seat stadium, enclosed, is the Cowboys Club. And this dude, Hatch's buddy, had access to it.
So is it like a membership thing? Is it like going to like essentially going to a country club to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend who lives down in the Manhattan Beach area, and he's got a social club membership.
Prime rib for everybody?
Oh my goodness, no, it was filet.
All right.
It was like $38.
Yeah.
And we sit down. There's this big open, not a bar, but a big lounge, and that area is packed. And they've got 25 TVs, and everybody's into the game. And as we pulled up to the outdoor, the U.S. scored, and everybody goes nuts. We saw it, and then right around the corner, the valet parking took maybe 2.5, 3, 4, 5 minutes tops.
And by then it was 2-1.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
What happened? Yeah, I mean,
all the air's out of the room.
We're
again.
literally in the car.
Goes back to not answering the bell, sticking it up.
But wow, being in that place, and the guy says, "Hey, don't worry about it, man." Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it. And he tells us, "Yeah, I come here all the time, and this is where the Cowboys. Jerry Jones usually he sits right there." And he told me, he says, Jerry, when he sits down, they call and say he'll be there at 12:15, whatever. And the plan is when he sits down and orders, he has the food within 30 seconds. Well, how do they do that? He says because he chooses from 5 different options.
And those options are constantly being prepared. So if you pick one of them, boom.
For him.
Only for him.
If he's going to be there at 12:15, they prepare all 5, and then he orders one of them.
And the other 4 go to somebody.
I don't know what the other 4 does, or where it
the
goes.
chef's eat back in the kitchen.
I don't know where
We're
it
eating
goes.
well today, boys.
I don't know where it goes. But, yeah, Yock's friend is a big-time high roller, man.
That'd be awesome.
Suck. I felt important.
Jerry walks in, sits down, orders his food, like, we'll go get it. Literally.
Yeah.
They just walk back and get it.
That's what
and
he
they walk it
said.
back.
And he hobnobs there. So I was living high for a couple hours. I thought I was somebody special. Then, of course, I got brought down to earth the next 2 days.
But you had your moment of glory.
Yeah.
Well-fed Monday night.
Yeah.
All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up, Mike Golick Jr. is going to join us in the 9 o'clock hour. Was he down there at the Big 12 Media Days?
He was.
He's doing a lot of different football stuff, podcast games.
Well, he does the games on TNT,
and now
right?
he's going to be doing a show with his dad. They've announced that they're doing something there.
Yeah,
So
but he's specifically a Big 12,
Big 12 games as
which
part of
they
his
put on a
deal.
pregame and a postgame. They do a very good job. And he is the one of the analysts. And so he was just standing there. I went up to him. Sure.
Hey, Mike. All right, there it is. Well, he's coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll talk college football with him. Stay with us, DJ and PK. More on a big night in Las Vegas. DeBonsa, Peterson, Jazz, Wizards, ESPN. We'll get to that coming up. Stay with us.
Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast. An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
This is Utah's best coverage of the Utes, Cougars, Jazz, and Mammoth. Here we go. From the guys who have been there for all the biggest moments in Utah sports history. You're listening to DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We've got multiple questions up today. We're talking football. We're talking hoops. Big game tonight. You ready for this tonight? DeBonsa, Peterson.
I'll freaking watch it.
You know we're going to come here tomorrow. There's going to be all kinds of hot takes about this, and it's a summer league game nobody's going to remember. It's not like everybody who's been an NBA MVP has lit up their first summer league. It's not exactly how it works.
I'll feel a little more intrigued, but I got to admit, last Saturday at 3 o'clock, I was a little resentful that I had to watch it. But then I had to go big picture. This is a sweet job. Yeah. I want to continue doing it. I love it.
But that was super awkward scheduling the 4th of July, which I talked to people over there, and they were basically like, yeah, the calendar didn't do us any favors.
I know it didn't. But I thought, I got to watch this so I'm prepared on Monday.
Yeah, I know.
And so at least tonight will be at night.
Yep.
And whatever I need to do during the day.
And there'll be plenty of teams. There's a huge schedule. There are plenty of teams playing during the day.
Which I won't watch.
No. But because it's DeBonsa and Peterson, ESPN's like, this has got the most sizzle. This is the game we'll put on
entertainment.
At 9 in the East.
Hey, ESPN deserves the right to make money.
And it's also, it's like everybody said, well, it's TV. It's like, this is what the fans want. That's the time they want to watch the game, and those are the people they want to watch. It is a marquee.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's good. And, yeah, I'll watch it, and we'll come in here and talk about it tomorrow, and away we go. So,
but if you're really desperate, the Spurs and the Hawks play at 2:30 on ESPN2. Amazon Prime at 1:30, Timberwolves Pelicans. So the whole summer league is out there.
And put it out there, fine.
Yeah.
That's the way I view that as, well, it's a much lesser attitude toward it, but it's the way I view college football bowl games. If I don't want to watch it, I won't watch it. But why not put it on? Because if I want to watch it, and if it's snowing out or whatever, and I got nothing else to do, I'll watch it. Obviously, I'll watch the locals no matter what. And this is local. It's local on both teams, with AJ having been here and all that stuff. So, yeah. And I think Darren Peterson will be fine. And my AJ will be fine, too. I just hope AJ goes 7 for 10 from 3 so I can just get in Locke's face.
All right, we got more on this. Got a question up on Facebook. We will get to this next. Former NBA All-Star Jeff Teague says Darren Peterson is the best guard drafted in the last 10 years. Can this be true? We will get to that next. Stay with us.
Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast. An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.